This video is brought to you by Grandeur Warranty, your #1 online source for factory-backed extended warranties in the country.
This brand new Infiniti QX60 is really good. There's a lot to like about it, but there is one big issue, and I'll tell you that before the end of this video. But let's start with this revised 2026 QX60. And what makes it unique, of course, is that they've given it a slight facelift, where now, instead of having what I think is a pretty boring grille, it gets the grille out of its bigger brother, the QX80. So it's a little bit more in your face, so to speak. The headlight's a little squintier. And I gotta say, I'm really in love with this forest green. It's a really cool color. Now this, of course, is a 3-row crossover / SUV that is based on the Nissan Pathfinder, because as you know, Infiniti is Nissan's luxury brand. And recently, Infiniti has been struggling to figure out what its brand identity is. And I can't help you with that, Infiniti. That's something you got to figure out. But what makes this interesting, at least in this space, is what's under the hood. Because it's not a 6-cylinder. It is, let me show you, a 4-cylinder VC turbo. Now the VC right there stands for variable compression. In other words, the compression in the engine changes based on how much you floor it. And the idea behind that is it gives you better fuel economy, but in real world driving, what it means is that you kind of get this like almost turbo lag feel while the engine's trying to figure out just how much compression it wants to give you for the best fuel economy. 268 horsepower, which isn't bad out of a 4-cylinder, paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, and in this case, all-wheel drive. So the real test, of course, is when we floor it, give it the beans and see how it does. And I've been driving this around this morning, actually this afternoon, trying to figure out how it does. And it does, well, let's wait till we get to the section where we take it on the road. Now, back here, what makes this, of course, unusual is that it is a 3-row SUV. And the problem with these kind of smallish SUVs when they're 3 rows is that there isn't a heck of a lot of room in the 3rd row, and then there isn't a heck of a lot of room behind the 3rd row. So let's see if this has a spare, and the answer is at least not there. Maybe they hid it under here, and they did hide it under there. Look at that. So we do have a spare. How good is that? So in this video, we can't give our friends at Modern Spare a shout out, or we can give it a shout out. It's just that you won't need it. Our friends at Modern Spare, what they basically do is they provide spare tires. Did you know that over half the cars in America, new cars, no longer come with a spare? And if you visit Modern Spare by clicking on the link below and you don't have a spare, they will provide you with a bespoke spare just for your tire inflation kit so that you have peace of mind. All right, so not a heck of a lot of room, but you can do what most people will do, and that is fold down the seat to give you more storage space. And then you got a good amount of room. So if you don't need the 3rd row, you do have a lot of stuff that you can stack behind the 2nd row, which is, I think, the way that most people will use this crossover. This one comes with the tow option. So it doesn't have a brake controller, but if you do get a brake controller, at least a wireless one, you can tow up to 6,000 pounds, which is actually quite a bit. Whether a 4-cylinder turbo can handle that, I don't know, but we're thinking about actually doing a towing test with it, so we'll find out. Now this is the Autograph version of the Infiniti QX60, and that's kind of like the Autobiography, if you know some of the other brands, which means it's the fancy one, which also means that it's the expensive one, and this one comes in at just over $70,000. I was talking to my man Zach at the office, and I said, I bet you the MSRP starts with the 7, and he said no, and of course it did, because you can get this in the front-wheel drive version for just under 50, actually just over, about 53 I think is the starting price. So back here you've got captain's chairs, you've got big ass sunroof, you have nice grab handles, but more importantly you also have full HVAC controls with heated seats, 2 USB-C ports, cup holders, and you know, a very stylish interior. I'm not sure I'd want this white with kiddos, but it is very chic and very nice looking. Of course, you get the privacy glass feature, which, you know, is always a sign of luxury. All right, let's see how the front seats are. Now at this point, I should mention that this car has the Klipsch audio, and I actually got to test this in the bigger brother of this, and you think that's a German company. It's not. It's actually out of, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're out of Tennessee, even though Klipsch does sound very German. They're an American company. And here you've got the speakers in the headrest, and what this car can do, which is kind of cool, is it can actually put your telephone through that, so that you can hear what the person is saying without necessarily the whole cabin listening to them. And that's a pretty cool feature. Once again, I do really like this interior. It is very stylish, and this kind of diamond stitch with this, I believe this is real wood, looks, you know, much more expensive. In other words, it's kind of punching above its weight class. And then, as is the way of all things today, unfortunately, you no longer have real controls. You have these haptic controls. You do have a real volume knob, which is nice. Big screen there, but I do like real buttons for my HVAC. Different drive modes, of course, which is nice. And let's see what kind you have. If you focus over here, you've got Sport, Auto, Eco, and Snow. So let's put it in Auto and let the truck decide, or the SUV decide what it wants to do. Good size armrest with a little cubby hole back here. Place to put your telephone, and like I said, haptic controls.
And no matter which car or truck you have, if you plan on keeping it for a longer period of time, you should check out GrangerWarranty.com. Use the link in the description below. Granger Warranty is one of the best sellers of factory-backed extended warranties across the country, and you could save some money while doing it, about $1,000 on average. And you don't have to buy it immediately when you buy a brand new vehicle. You could wait a little bit and then get that warranty. And when your truck needs service, you can be sure that they're using certified components, OEM quality stuff, and the work is done at a certified facility or a dealership anywhere across the country.
Heated steering wheel, heated and vented seats, dual climate controls. My only gripe here is the fact that all of this is haptic, unfortunately. My other gripe is that if you want to put it in drive, you think you would do that, and it did it. But if you want to put it in reverse, you think you would go like that. But you can't, because there's a little button, sorry Ian, right there that you have to hit with your thumb, and well, in this case I use my long finger, but you have to hit that to put it in reverse, but you can do that to put it in drive, which is kind of weird, isn't it, Ian? Why not, you know, push the button in drive as well, or why not just not have it there at all? Manufacturers keep reinventing the wheel when it comes to how we put cars in gear, and I'm not sure it's for the better. In fact, I'm definitely sure it's not for the better. It was much easier when we had a big old stock, and I may be getting old, but sometimes reinventing the wheel just for the sake of reinventing the wheel seems kind of silly. Heads-up display, which is nice, big mirrors with blindside monitoring, also nice, full leather steering wheel. All right, and this is where it kind of gets a little dicey, because I'm going to do an acceleration run here, and we'll see just how much 268 horsepower moves a relatively big vehicle. So here we go, full throttle, lag. There it goes. So Car and Driver says 0 to 60 in about 7.5 seconds. Let's try that in sport mode, see if that kind of speeds it up a little bit. Oh, there's a tow mode too. I've lost the tow mode, so we do have a tow mode. Okay, so let's try sport mode. We'll do the same thing. Floored. Yeah, no difference. It feels like it's thinking about giving you the power, and then when it decides that you indeed want the power, it really gives it to you. So it's kind of a weird thing, this. But the reason for that, of course, is better fuel economy. And I don't think I brought my Monroney with me. I think I forgot it, but I want to say it's in the mid-20s combined, maybe 24 if I remember right. If I got that wrong, please correct me, which isn't bad for a 3-row, actually. The engine is a little, I don't like that. I'm going to put it back in auto. It's not downshifting, it's just keeping it in the more powerful rev band, and it just sounds a little buzzy, which isn't a good thing. So let's see how it drives. We do our typical loop here. There goes the power. Not a bad road dynamic to this vehicle. Well dampened. Everything is nice and comfy. Obviously not very sporty because this isn't meant to be sporty, but this road gets really bad and there's not a lot of that bump intrusion into the cabin. So, you know, it's a very modern car in the way that it handles corners and the way that it brakes. It all feels just a little bit computerized. I just picked up a Porsche 911 997 that I've been driving around for the Classics channel, and man, have we gotten away from dynamics of great braking, great steering, and great handling, where the car just wants you to go carve canyons. This car just wants you to go pick up the kids, which is fine. I mean, I think you're not buying a QX60 because you're going to be out there racing it around your neighborhood track. But still, with all the electronics and all of the by-wire stuff, we've come a long way from what that 20-year-old 997, 911 feels like driving. And you really get a sense for that when you go from this to the other car. And I know they don't compete, I know it's a sports car, but still, everything in this SUV feels muted and feels a little artificial, I would say. All right, so I said there was a rub, and the rub is, and I'll tell you as soon as we get outside, the competition, because this does compete. Of course, they've hidden the start button now. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there, and that's a journalism problem because, of course, I do drive a lot of cars. Hey, I did find my notes here. So combined 24. Look at that, Ian. I got it right. Starting MSRP 23,780. This one is 71,335 because it's got the tech package, which is a $3,000 option, and destination of $1,495, which isn't horrendous. Could be much higher. So I said the rub was the competition. So this competes with cars like the Lexus GX, the Lexus TX, the Acura MDX, and when you think about those three, they all have a certain character to them. So the MDX, of course, is the sporty three-row. The TX is kind of the luxurious family hauling three-row, and the GX is the off-roady three-row. You can have it as a three-row, I guess. The issue here is, what is this personality? Is it sporty? Is it luxurious? Or is it utility? And I guess it's going for luxury, but I have to say, I think that the Lexus, with the TX may do that a little bit better. And that's where it gets a little bit hard to justify spending, how much did I say for this guy? I think I said $71,335. Now, starting price of $53,000 for the front wheel drive, it's a heck of a bargain considering that the average new car price now is $50,000. So I guess if it were me and you were looking for value for your money, then get this, but don't get the Autograph. Get the entry-level one. If you can live without all-wheel drive, you'll get good fuel economy, you'll get good utility, you'll get good reliability, and you'll get, I think, a good bargain in the process. Now, we are hopefully going to go take this and do a little bit of towing with it. We're towing with a new towing test just for three-row SUVs, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to stay up to date on all things TFL, head on to alltfl.com. And thank you for watching. As the sun goes down, I will see you next time. Ciao. Hold on, one more thing, almost forgot. I want to thank our friends at Grainger Warranty for helping sponsor this video. If you guys are looking for peace of mind and you want a vehicle that will last you for 10, 15 years, think about getting an extended warranty from Grainger Warranty, because not only do you get peace of mind, but you get OEM parts and you get technicians that work at your local Infiniti dealer putting those parts in. So check them out by clicking on the link below. And now I will see you later. Ciao.